Okay, welcome to another one. So I just discovered this cool new trick, how to get, I don't know what to call it, seamless textures. Basically it's blending a couple of textures to create a bit more of a random, or, people love the term realistic, of a realistic look to your ground, just to break it up a bit. And if you go to the shading tab, you'll see I have 3 different materials and they're all blended right here. So if I can just click on each one individually. Okay, there you have your grass. You have grass with some patches, and I think you have grass with some pebbles, or ground with pebbles. And as you can see, even the reflections, I'd say not bad. So what I did was I just created pretty much a texture and duplicated the material, duplicated the textures so that they have their own unique look to them. And then after that I blended them using the Vertex Paint. And the final result is you get something like this. Bam. And now if I even go to Vertex Paints, just to show you how it works, as you can see I have the red color here. So if I paint, I think the mesh is a bit dense. Let's just disable the subsurf right there. Now if I start painting, you see, okay, red brings in the grass with the stones or whatever. And if I go green, green is the one with the pebbles. And as you can see, it updates real time, even with the shading, which is pretty cool. And blue should be the default grass texture. Painting some grass, whatever. So you can get very interesting looks, and it also breaks up the seams. Sometimes when you tile textures, they look very tiled, so this also helps sort of break that up a little bit more. And there's another thing that I did, although I might have changed a few things here. And if you notice, if I go to this tab, this is how it looks. The blues, the grass, green is probably the pebbles, and the red, and whatever's white is probably going to be defaulted to I don't know if it's the red or the green. If I go to object, yeah, but basically there's going to be a default color, and whatever's not painted is going to remain that color. I think it's usually the first texture, which is the grass texture, since the first one I put. Yeah, so I just want to show something else, right? So just remove this. Oh, probably this one. Okay, so the first thing I did, I added just a basic displacement texture, just to get a bit of, I don't know, height towards the ground, some parts that are much higher than others. And then I added a subsurf just to add a bit more detail. And then I added another displacement texture. Now if you look carefully, this texture, this displacement, actually matches, well, not exactly because I painted over things, but it matches this whole texture right here. If I can just go back and forth. As you can see, these parts here are mimicking the rocks over here, and looking at even this area here, if I go back, you can see there's a bit of displace. So that's a cool trick that I found, that after you texture your field and whatever, you can generate a height map that actually follows whatever texture painting or vertex blending that you did. And I think it gives a much more realistic, or that term. I don't know if there's another term for it, but yeah, it gives a more realistic look, or let's say organic, a bit more organic look to what you're doing. So I found that pretty cool. And I'm just going to be doing a tutorial breaking this down, how to create it yourself. It's quite simple actually. There's a few steps, but once you do it, I think you'll have it forever, and then you can just create more interesting looking grounds for your scenes. Another thing I might do as well is probably like paint some grass in the grass areas, and in the more rocky areas add some like pebbles, just to add a bit more dimensionality. But I think this is also pretty decent, like I think it looks cool. I like it. Yeah, so if you are interested in this, I'm going to do a full tutorial on this. It's probably not going to be as long as the previous one, but just some interesting tricks that I've found to achieve some really cool grounds. Yeah, that's all I have to show actually. Alright, yeah, so if you found this useful, just consider liking and subscribing. I'll be doing a couple more of these. I mean, I have some things that I'm sort of messing around with, some ideas and stuff, but if you have suggestions, like if you also like a full tutorial on this and sort of the texturing process, then I can just show you how I achieved this look and some of the ideas that I have, or when I'm approaching certain things in 3D or just art in general, just let me know and I'll do that. Thank you very much.